Everyone overcomplicates color grading. In this video, I'm going to give you a dead simple color workflow that you can use on any video and it'll get the job done. It's good for beginners too. Let's do it. Here we have a little demo video just with stock footage of a mama making bread with her baby, but it needs some color love for sure. When I started doing color back in the day, I was absolutely terrified because when you're editing, you can cut things up and just go crazy and make a million shots. But then you realize that every single one of those shots needs to be color graded. So I found myself staring at a timeline of hundreds of shots that needed some color work, and I didn't really know what to do about it. And this was actually before Resolve was affordable and available. So I was using an app called Apple Color, which was like the Final Cut version of Resolve way back in the day. And I gotta say, it was so bad. It was so bad. It didn't work very well. It crashed a lot, probably why they killed the program. But that feeling that you get when you go into the color page and you look at all of this craziness, and there's 5 million different tools, that was overwhelming then too. For this demo, I only have 10 shots, but on your projects, maybe you have 50 or 100 or 1,000, which is 1,000. That's math. And over the years, I've developed a very quick, very easy workflow to make sure every shot in the video gets what it needs. They match together. It looks beautiful. And it comes from years of experience of doing it wrong, making mistakes, getting messy. And that specific workflow is something that I want to walk you through live in our Simple Color Workflow Challenge. It's 5 days of color coaching with me. There's a link in the description. More on that in a little bit. But what I want to show you here is the too long didn't read version. And even though there are about 90 billion tools that you can use in the color page, we're going to use about 3 of them. And we're going to get this movie looking amazing. Do you believe me? Okay, first thing we got to do is deal with the log footage. Now, if you don't shoot log and you're like, I don't even know what log is, don't worry about this part. If you shot on your phone or a camera that just shoots normal looking video, that isn't gray and washed out like this, you can skip to the next part. But if you did shoot log because somebody was like, you should shoot log, it's better for color grading, and now you're looking at it going, oh, why did I do this? This part's for you. The big thing that you need to know is what kind of log did you shoot? Which means you got to know your camera and the color space. So a camera is like, Sony, Canon, Blackmagic, etc., right? The color space is stuff like S-Log, C-Log, BMD film, that kind of stuff. If you know those 2 things, you can easily do color management. Color management keeps all of the good things about log, but it gives you a good starting point and makes it look nice for you. It's slightly more complicated than that. I actually have a video on all this up there, but that'll work for our purposes. So here's what you do. First thing is you go down to your project settings, click on this little cog, go to color management, set your color science to DaVinci Y RGB color managed right here, uncheck automatic color management and switch this color processing mode to HDR DaVinci wide gamut intermediate, just like this. Set it like this, okay? Screenshot this. Cool. Once you have that, you hit save, and pretty likely after you do that, nothing will happen. Nothing will change. That's because we have to tell Resolve what kind of footage this is, what kind of log it is. And so we got to select all of our footage in the media pool, right click, go down to input color space, and we're just going to tell it what camera and color space we shot in. So for this, it's Sony S-Gamut 3 Cine S-Log3, like that. And now we have much better looking footage. All right, it's actually halfway decent. You could just about put this out. Are these images going to look perfect? No, especially if you weren't really careful when you shot it. But this is step 1, is color manage if you are using log. That'll give you a good starting point for this stuff. Step 2, we're going to figure out a creative look. Now, when you think of creative look, you might be thinking about like making it really green like the Matrix, or getting the Joker look, or some kind of black and white or bleach bypass really strong thing. And it doesn't have to be that way. And while those are creative looks, pretty much every video can deal with some kind of creative look, even if it's not really obvious. And really what this is establishing a style, whether it's subtle or not, for all of the clips in your movie. Do you want them to feel warm? Do you want them to feel saturated? Do you want them to have high contrast, low contrast, that kind of stuff? Here's the absolute dead easiest way to make this happen. Go over to the edit page, go to your effects, and grab an adjustment clip. Grab this and put this over everything like this. Boop. Great. This is our adjustment clip. I'll switch back over to the color page now. And now we have this adjustment clip over everything. Anything that I do to this adjustment clip is going to happen to the footage below it. And so I can select this adjustment clip, which happens to be clip 2 here in my clips. And anything I do to these color tools is going to happen to the entire movie because our clip is over the entire movie. Now, you can really use any of these tools that you're comfortable with, but here's a little hack. I would recommend getting used to the curves. What's nice about the curves is you can adjust a bunch of stuff about your image all at once. So let's get rid of our clips and our media pool and our timeline and just look at this clip here. By using the curves, I can adjust the contrast and the exposure kind of all at once. And I'll look at this clip and I'll go, okay, let's take this bright point here and I'll maybe push that up just a little bit, give it a little bit more brightness. I'll take this dark point just to give this a little bit more contrast. I can even take this little part right here up and this little part down, and it makes a subtle S curve, okay? You think if you're like drawing an S, but then you kind of stretch it out like that, that's what we're making is this subtle S curve here. That's going to give us a little bit of contrast, all right? If I disable this and enable it again, you can see that big difference that we're making just from this little subtle curve, all right? So this curve is great for the overall look because you can really dial in the right amount of contrast and it's very customizable. I like that a lot. I'm not even going to worry about these nodes right now. I'm just going to turn off the nodes because that can be intimidating. Let's look at this and say, what else does it need? Well, I feel like it could be a little bit warmer. I feel like a nice kind of sunny look might be better. So I can just take this temperature and just push this to the right a little bit. Just make it a little bit warm. Don't go crazy. Just keep it a little bit more subtle. I'm going to take this tint maybe to the right a little bit too, just a touch. So now we have this contrasty and warm. Oh, and I like that look a lot. I like that. The one last thing I'll do is maybe grab the color boost down here. This is like saturation, but just for the parts that are less saturated. So I can push up this color boost, and that's going to add just a little bit more saturation in the less saturated parts. All right, it's going to pop those greens a little bit. It's going to make this look really nice. Okay, so here's before and here's after. So this is our look. And you may notice also, I didn't really worry about which clip I'm looking at here because this look should really look good on all of the clips. And so as I kind of scroll through, this should generally look pretty nice on all of our clips. That's what I'm looking for here. It shouldn't be offensive or terrible. It shouldn't be making huge problems for us. This one's maybe a little bit overexposed. The bread looks good. This one's maybe just a little bright. There's a few of these that are maybe just a little too bright, but I think we can deal with that. But we want to dial in that look beforehand and put it over all of our shots, okay? And we can use that adjustment clip. And what we're trying to do is get this like 50% of the way there. That look should not be offensive on any of these shots. Because if it is, you're just making more problems for yourself later that you're going to need to deal with. But I think that's going to work just fine. So that's step 2. That's the look. The creative style that you put over everything, and you can use an adjustment clip to do that. There's ways to do it in the color page too, but this is a really easy visual way to do it, okay? Now for step 3, this is the last step in your like simple TLDR, get it done color workflow. What we're gonna do is go through and just adjust all of these clips to match our favorite shot, okay? So I'm gonna pick my favorite shot. I like this one. If I open up this gallery and I kind of scrub through here and find the shot that I want, this one, I can right click on this viewer and say grab still. That's going to save what this looks like in a still over here. And what's cool about that is I can go to any of these shots and I can right click on this still and say play still. And that'll give me this little split screen wipe. And this is really helpful for matching our shots. And pretty much the idea here is that we're going to fix anything in all of the shots that is distractingly different than our still. All right? So we can start from the very beginning. We're just going to look through this. I can close my gallery here. And we want these to feel like they live in the same world. This here on the left is maybe just a little bit green. I might take that tint away from green just a touch. I might also grab my curves and bring the lower part down a touch. Somewhere in there, maybe push the temperature a little bit warmer, just so that this feels like it lives in the same world. Don't overthink this. Do it really quickly and then move on to your next shot. So this is shot 3. That's obviously going to match. Shot 4, we want to make sure that that matches. I feel like it's maybe just a little bit pink, maybe just because of her hands there. So I might just take this temperature a little bit warmer, and these hands should match these hands. And that works pretty good. I'm also going to put this same color grade on shot 5 as 4. So I'll middle button mouse click there. to copy this shots grade to this one. Shot 6 looks like it's a little bit bright. And so we can take this down in our upper curves like that. This is looking pretty nice. It's maybe just a touch green. So we'll take the tint away from green just a little bit. Okay, let's see how that goes. Again, we're not overthinking it. We're just moving. Shot 7. It's maybe a little bright. So again, I'll take this down a touch. Yeah. And that starts to sit pretty well. I feel like that works. Shot 6. Does that feel like the same world? I think so. I don't think there's anything offensive about that. Shot 9, again, is probably a little bit bright. I might just try and steal the grade from shot 7 here. Just middle button mouse click there. Yeah, that works pretty well. That's pretty easy. Shot 10. Now, shot 10 is going to be really different. This is a very different environment, which happens in your videos, right? And so I want to make sure that maybe this isn't going to look exactly the same because it's not the exact same lighting, exact same subjects and everything, but we want it to feel like it's in the same world. We want it to be believable that this happened right before this or right after this, right? And so we're looking at how dark are the dark places, how bright are the bright places, what's the overall kind of tone, how much contrast is there, all of that stuff. And I feel like this could probably take a little bit of darker darks like that. Ooh, that's looking a lot better. Man, that's good. Maybe push the brights up just a touch. Maybe add a little bit of that S-curve there just to give it a little more contrast. Ooh, that's feeling much better. Much better. I'd say this overall maybe is a little bit green. So let's take the tint just a little bit pink. Maybe take the temperature, move that back and forth a little bit. Maybe a little bit warmer. It's maybe too warm. I'll double click that temperature. And you kind of got to just play with it a little bit. This is a little bit harder of a shot, but I think that might be okay. Shot 11, let's just try and take that same grade. See how that works. I think that's a little dark. So I'll right click on both of those and just kind of push this up a little bit. Maybe take the tint away from that pink. And sometimes it's hard to tell right off the bat whether this is a good match or not, and that's okay. Give it our best shot and then we'll come back to it, okay? So now we have these all roughly matched to the still, but what's really important here, is do these shots match one after another? Because they might match perfectly with the still when you're scrubbing it back and forth, but if it looks weird when you watch one shot and then you watch the other one, that's how everybody's gonna watch this. And so we gotta just kind of play this back and see what's up. See if there's anything that sticks out to us. Okay. And we're looking for big problems. Is there anything that is just really strange? Look at this. We should instantly accept that, yes, that is the next shot. Looks good. Not going to be too picky. There's nothing technically weird. Stuff isn't too bright. I think that bread looks nice. That's a nice shot. This shot is maybe just a little bright, and this one feels too yellow. So, okay. So this one's maybe a little too bright. So let's take this brightness back down a little bit. Yeah, something like that. And switch back and forth. This one definitely feels more green. This one feels too pink. So let's take that pink out. And we're just going to kind of go back and forth in between these shots and see if they feel like they live in the same world. This one is still just a little green, I'd say. And you kind of go back and forth until it feels a little more reasonable. I still think, gosh, as crazy as it is, we might need more green in that one. Yeah, that feels a little better. And now we got to make sure that this one, I mean, this one feels way too warm now. Let's just grab that same grade. Okay. Let's do one after another. That looks pretty good. Now, does that feel weird? It feels like a strong look. Everything's kind of the same color. We can sometimes fix that by taking these shadows down a touch. Let's play this back. Yeah, that one still feels, this is the problem shot right here. I think we maybe just take that away from, just push a little bit of cool into there. Take it away a little bit from green. That's a lot better match. Yeah, that's good. So now we have our entire video matched and it looks pretty good. And it didn't take that long. All you got to do is follow the order, right? So we do color management. That's step 1. Step 2 is the look/style. Step 3 is match. Now, once you have all of your shots matched, you're home free. You can render this out and it'll look beautiful and everybody will love it. And from there, if you want to get crazy and you want to do stuff like, you know, brighten her face and put a lens flare over here and all this stuff, you can do that extra stuff when you have time after you feel really good about your movie. All right. If this kind of simple approach to color grading is blowing your mind, I want to invite you to our simple color workflow challenge. I've been saying for a couple of weeks that there are ways to work with me. This is the first major way. This is a 5-day coaching experience where I teach you my amazing simple color workflow, where we go a lot more in depth on how to match shots and what order we should do things in and how do we deal with problems. But it's designed not to teach you just how to color grade, but how to simplify your workflow so you're not overwhelmed, you're not frustrated by the color page or by color grading your movies, because every video these days needs color grading. If you're a video editor, you're going to be expected to do color grading. And what we can do is just in 1 week, take you from overwhelmed, lost, frustrated about your color workflow to feeling confident and excited and creative. And just that shift is going to make your videos better forever. It's so exciting. It's going to be so much fun. So there is a link down in the description to reserve your seat. If you're watching this video right when it comes out, we're actually starting on Monday. So click that link and sign up. Make sure you get a VIP ticket, okay? Because a VIP ticket means that you can show up 1 hour early, ask me questions, and get help on your projects. That's the biggest bang for your buck. If you're watching this in the future, then we're going to be doing another challenge very soon. Click that link and it will tell you the dates, okay? It's time to be confident in your color grading workflow and make all your videos better forever. So yeah, the link's in the description. I will see you there. I know some people don't like it when I sip coffee, but I like coffee and this happens during the day.